oh hey, come walk with me on this overcast day in, yeah. So the funny thing is, I was here, I think 2-3 weeks ago, and I was filming a video and it was just packed with people, but it was also the first day, I think, of spring break, and there's an ice cream parlor up there, and I guess people were just enjoying themselves. But today, as you can see, there is no one here, and that fits quite well to the video that I wanted to make today, because I just wanted to quickly talk about the importance of taking a break. And apparently people are taking a break from being outside of the house, which makes sense, it's a rainy day today. But I also wanted to take a break from, well, at first I wanted to take a break from making a video, but then I thought better of it, and I thought, okay, why don't we talk about why it is important to take breaks, but different forms of taking breaks. Because I noticed in the past, and I've talked about this a few times now, when I was taking photos and I was doing a lot of street photography, that it was important to me to always one-up myself. And what do I mean by that is, so I started pretty much close to home, just like I did with this vlog. And one day I took a short trip. I think I took a trip to Frankfurt, and I shot there, and that's super exciting, and there's new things to see, new things to shoot, and I found that the photos were so much better. And next thing was then I took a trip to Paris, and I thought, okay, well, the photos are getting even better, and so on and so forth. So a few years back, then I took a photography trip to New York and said, okay, well, the photos are just getting better. And the thing that I found is that it made it so much harder to go ahead and just go back to taking photos again at or closer to home, like for example here, or at least I didn't feel much like doing it. And in the end, that led to me then skipping a day, skipping a week, and in the end I stopped the project that I was doing. Well, it was a 1,000 day. In the end, the end was quite good. So it was 1,000 days of photography, but it did get more and more difficult, I would say, to find new things and things to take better photos and in more interesting places. What I found is the repetition is what really made the photos better. So it's not that I got better because I was in newer places or in more interesting places, but it was more like the daily repetition and focus on really looking at a scene and trying to figure out what would be a good photo somewhere. But in my mind, of course, I always had this idea of, okay, I want to go to a new, different, interesting place. And I found myself in that mindset maybe today. So I thought, okay, not every video has to be better than the last one. Not every video has to be longer, more articulate, or in any case better than the previous one. The important thing is just a kind of repetition. So out of that idea, I said, okay, let's go and let's just talk about this. And we can think of this as kind of taking a break, even though it's not really a break. It's a lighter repetition. So like, for example, if you consider exercise, it could be that as you get faster, for example, in running, you start running longer routes. Like you start with 5K, one day you say, okay, let's go for 6K or whatever, it might be even more. And on a regular basis, if you do this, then it gets difficult to downgrade again and say, okay, I'm so used to running my 6, 7, however many Ks. Why should I just run 5 today? But I think the important thing is getting out there, doing your repetition, and you can take it easier with that. So maybe 5K, or maybe just run for 3K if that's what you're feeling like on that day. And the same applies to art, photography, and I guess also to vlogging like this one. So the thing is also, it's not just that the length of the video, or the amount of photos, or any metrics that you are looking at. And I know it's always intriguing to say, okay, hey, I went on a trip and I took 40,000 steps in a day, or I took, I don't know, 30,000 steps in a day, and I shot 250 photos. But it's equally good to just go out and say, okay, hey, I enjoyed myself and I took 20 photos, or none, but at least I had my camera with me and I had a look at it. So yeah. So for that reason today, this is a very familiar route. I think I took it 2 or 3 times already during these vlogs. So it's not difficult, nothing to think about, just something familiar, and it's an easy repetition, and maybe next week will be again something different. But yeah. So that being said, what is there to do when you take a break? So just like I was saying now, do something which is shorter, which is less intense, and that way you just keep the rhythm of going out, getting your reps in. That way you also remind yourself that it's okay to not always do something better, something bigger than the previous one. And it also, I think it also leads in a direction that it makes it easier for you to, let's say, forgive yourself if a video doesn't turn out to be the way that you expected it to be, if a photo walk doesn't produce any photos. And that also helps if, for example, if you made some plans and the plans don't work out, which sometimes happens, it helps you to accept that and then to maybe make a new plan, or at least enjoy yourself along the way. So yeah, I think in a nutshell, that's about what I wanted to talk about today. So definitely today is a shorter one, but not to worry about it. I think it's fitting for this episode. So with that being said, maybe we just keep it short and sweet at that. And I wish all of you a nice rest of the day. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.